Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Tuesday, the 4th of June 2024, the year of 1 million transactions per second and more. Experience the best of both worlds today at betbitcoinsv.com, the best casino and sports betting on chain. Have a little flutter in private using blockchain technology. Right, let's get into it. Hold on. Let's just bring this up. Got it. Check it out. So, talk about having a little bit of excitement today. This is an article by Cointelegraph, just literally published 28 minutes ago. It says, Bitcoin dormant for 5 years or more awakens in new distribution. What on earth could be going on here? Well, let's find out. It says, Bitcoin long-term holder inactivity is being slowly challenged as BTC emerges from hibernation, in some cases lasting over a decade. Bitcoin, dormant in wallets for up to a decade, is on the move, the latest data shows. According to on-chain analytics platform CryptoQuant, thousands of coins are waking up daily as Bitcoin, BTC price, action challenges $70,000. Old tranches of BTC move on-chain. Bitcoin on-chain volume is the source of intrigue this month as older coins return to circulation in their thousands. So this looks like it was reported by Material Indicators. Have a look at this. So somebody had said here, and another 2,123 BTC, the same age. Old coins moving after old coins moving after old coins moving. In other words, distribution. What could be going on? I think these BTCs might be getting overly confident in what they assume might be happening. CryptoQuant's spent output aged bands metric shows that on June 2nd alone, 2,800 BTC moved on chain for the first time in between 2 and 3 years. The tally for coins stationary for 4 or 5 years was even larger at 4,500 BTC. June 3rd also saw 210 BTC move, which had previously been in its wallets for a decade or more. Old coins moving after old coins moving after old coins moving, CryptoQuant distributing analyst J.A. Martin wrote in part of the accompanying commentary on X. It says decades-old coins move on chain in fact occurs fairly regularly, but the largest stage of the Bitcoin bull market has seen an uptick in frequency. CryptoQuant data shows this oldest cohort of BTC becoming more active, beginning at the end of February and the run-up to what remains Bitcoin's all-time high of $73,800. Bitcoin long-term holders in a state of inactivity. As Cointelegraph reported, Bitcoin's long-term holders, entities holding a given amount of BTC without selling it for 155 days or more, continue to broadly resist the temptation to divest themselves of coins. A CryptoQuant note last week, newer, what's this, long-term, what do they call it, long-term holders, owning coins dormant for 1 or 2 years have indeed cooled distribution behavior. As Bitcoin's price recovers from the recent correction to 56,000, we notice a shift in older behavior. The 1 year plus 2 or 1 year plus 2 years plus cohorts have ceased selling, transitioning from a distribution phase to a holding phase. Fellow contributor on-chain wrote in a QuickTape market update. Don't know if I agree with that, but this is what he wrote. This change indicates renewed confidence in Bitcoin's future price potential as these cohorts choose to retain their holdings rather than liquidate them at current prices. An accompanying chart compared levels of inactivity among several long-time holder cohorts. On-chains added that various on-chain indicators point to strong underlying bullish sentiment, chiming with subsequent findings from popular trader Alan Targrade this week. What could be going on? What's recently happened? Well, let's get into a bit of that then, shall we? So, with regard to the Mellor court case, let's get into that. So, I was going through his judgment and just picked out a few points that I didn't agree with, at all. So he said, point 826 in his report, he said, I find that the Tulip Trust was another invention of Dr. Wright's as part of an attempt to shield assets from a bankruptcy in Australia. Having invented it, he attempted to use it in the Cayman to avoid identifying the Bitcoin he supposedly owned. And I wrote the bottom bit, I'm calling BS. That has already been judged on a trial by jury. So if he's saying that Dr. Wright invented it and it didn't exist, then I would say that Judge Mellor actually might be acting in contempt of court, because he's actually disrespecting a ruling made by a Florida court in a trial by jury. And now he's saying that he made it up. Well, we've already had a court case to discuss that it absolutely existed and who it rightly belongs to. And we've seen the Tulip Trust document. For those of you who haven't seen it, let me just show you it. Show you what it looks like. This was the document right here. Let me just see if I can increase that. There we go. This was written on the 9th of June 2011. To whom it may concern. Dr. Craig Wright, or CC'd in Dr. Craig Wright, I acknowledge the trust and the transfer of Bitcoin to this trust. I have full control of all software and keys used to manage Bitcoin as of this date, and that's the 9th of June 2011. I, David Kleiman, shall become the trustee of the transfer of the Satoshi I have received from Craig Wright. No record of this transaction will be filed in the UK, in the US or Australia. The transfer is valued at around $100 for Australian tax purposes. I acknowledge that I, Dave Kleiman, has received 1,100,111 Bitcoin from Craig Wright. At the time of transfer, it's valued at around $100,000. I will form a trust to be managed by at least 3 people, but not more than 7 at any time. All Bitcoin will be returned to Dr. Wright on the 1st of January 2020. Look at that. I think it's dated down here as well. Well, he's saying that as of this date. So that's the date, 9th of June 2011. And I believe if we go to 365 days of Bitcoin history, I am sure that I've got the here it is, the Tulip Trust document in here somewhere. Let's see if we can just get lucky and find it while we're zipping through this thing. Lots of stuff here in Bitcoin history. That's it. It's the there was a document in the Seychelles where it says that this the company has been managed and run. There it is. Huh. Would you believe it? Right, Republic of Seychelles, International Business Companies Act 1994, Certificate of Good Standard, Tulip Trust Tulip Trading Limited, company number 093344, incorporated on the 21st of July 2011. This is to certify that the above company has been duly incorporated under the International Business Companies Act 1994. The name of the company is still on the register of the International Business Companies, and the company has paid all fees, license fees and penalties due and payable under the provisions of the International Business Companies Act 1994. So that proves that the trust exists. I think Judge Mellor is utterly corrupt. Personally, that's what I think. Yeah, there was this one about point 3 when he said, although as a person with expertise in IT security, Dr. Wright must have thought his forgeries would have provided convincing evidence to support his claim to be Satoshi. The evidence shows that most of his forgeries turned out to be clumsy. Honestly, like literally one of the foremost cybersecurity experts in the world calling him clumsy. I think you'll find that actually Patrick Madden was clumsy because he didn't even write his own report. It was Bird and Bird that wrote it for him. Unbelievable. And point 14 in his report, he said, ultimately, I consider the real Satoshi would never have set out to prove in litigation that he actually was Satoshi, and certainly not in the way that Dr. Wright attempted to do so. So, I wrote a question here. So the judge knows Satoshi, does he? Did Satoshi post, I'm not Craig Wright? No, he didn't. It was Satoshi that posted, I'm not Dorian Satoshi Nakamoto. So if Satoshi Nakamoto wasn't Craig Wright, he could quite easily help him out, help everybody out and say, I'm not Craig Wright. Has he done that? No, he hasn't. And Craig is literally the only person that's been in Bitcoin right from the beginning that has not been in contact with Satoshi. How is that even possible? It's ridiculous. There are no emails from Craig to Satoshi because he would have been emailing himself. Oh my goodness me. Honestly, crazy when you realise what's going on. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Rightio then. So let's get into a little bit 365 days of Bitcoin history. Some classic ones I actually missed out on the other day. Absolute classics. So it was actually on the 1st of June 2020 that Max Kaiser appeared on the Patrick Bet-David podcast and says he thought that God created Bitcoin. Dare we? I think we dare. Let's have a listen to this. Here we go.
Who else has claimed that there's Satoshi outside of him?
Nobody.
Nobody's ever claimed.
That's right.
Interesting.
Yeah, who invented gold?
Crypto is man-made. It's slightly different. You know,
I would argue that the inspiration for Bitcoin is divine, and that it reflects it reflects an inner divine nature of humans. So it is similar to gold in that way. If you believe that God created everything, including gold, then you would also believe that God created Bitcoin.
So you think God created Bitcoin?
Oh dear, oh dear, dear, oh dear. I think I've actually got links to the original video right here.
Are you having trouble trying?
Here it is. We can skip that so you can just see what he looks like. This was it. So this was Max Kaiser on the Patrick Bet-David podcast where he actually said that. Unbelievable. Not even unbelievable, you know, nuts. We did the 2nd of June and then 3rd of June. This was a cracking one. So it was on the 3rd of June 2019 that Dr. Craig Wright trolled the BSV community by stating that BSV would be over $1,200 by the end of the year. Now, I didn't quite know what to make of this to start with, so I fell for a hook, line and sinker, but it was a troll. It was like, look, just stop asking me about price. Price is literally, as I've said before, price is the end result of all the hard work, effort and investment that has gone in prior. It is therefore the last metric to move, which means it's the least of all metrics that matter. So stop looking at the effing price. But this was actually reported in, BN Crypto. And they said, Bitcoin SV to $1,200. Craig Wright's prophecy almost out of time. So this was actually written 19th of November 2019. And this was, they've actually got the original post here. Check it out. How cool is this? So this Alistair Miner said, Craig Wright promising BSV will go to $1,200 as a result of his court case, posted June 3rd, 2019. And it went along the lines of not institutional, but wealth. Institutional is a long way away. As we start the case, I am determined to be Satoshi Nakamoto officially, as you see what happens next. He said, I do not generally call price, but we will be over $1,200 USD this year. I'm laughing now. I'm laughing now because I can see, you know, I can see that it was a troll. But initially, you're just like, really? Well, if anybody's got the power to do something about it, it could be him. But obviously, that would, that would be market manipulation, which I don't think Craig certainly wouldn't be, promoting in that kind of way anyway. So that was funny. 3rd of June. And then 4th of June, that's today. Check this out. So June 4th, 1963, Executive Order 11110 was issued by US President John F. Kennedy on June 4th, 1963. This executive order amended Executive Order 10289, dated September 17th, 1951, by delegating to the Secretary of the Treasury the President's authority to issue silver certificates under the Thomas Amendment of the Agricultural Act as amended by Gold Reserve Act. So let's just have a quick look at this. The order allowed the Secretary to issue silver certificates, if any were needed, during the transition period under President Kennedy's plan to eliminate silver certificates and use Federal Reserve notes. Well, yeah, I mean, there's all this hokery-pokery with the Federal Reserve and all that stuff going on. Now we know it's just one massive fraud perpetrated on the world by the Federal Reserve, the largest asset stripping operation in the world that the world has ever seen. Unbelievable. Well, not really if you actually know what's going on. Let's have a look at this. So just going back to Judge Mellor and evidence that Craig is Satoshi Nakamoto. So I found this again. Gavin Mellor spoke about this. I mean, definitely worth going in if you want to have a look at this. I mean, honestly, there's so much stuff in here. So much stuff in here. So let's take for example. Look. So on 31st of October 2008, the pseudonymous author of the Bitcoin white paper, Satoshi Nakamoto, plagiarized Craig Wright's work from his paper from Northumbria University that he published on the 30th of October 2007. In the publication of the Bitcoin white paper, using the exact sentence structure, a purely peer-to-peer version of electronic cash would allow online payments to be sent directly from one party to another without going through A. And this is on page 7, so let's have a quick look at this. Hopefully this will come up for you. There we go. So we'll go down to page 7. 6. That is page 7. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, here we go. Look. In a similar manner to the web, a purely peer-to-peer version of electronic cash would allow online payments to be sent directly from one party to another without going through a payment intermediary. And I'm not sure if we can actually see the Bitcoin white paper. That was posted on CraigWright.net. I'm not sure if that's actually still up. Let's have a look. Is it still there? Can we see it? Oh, come on, Craig. Can't even. Where's the white paper these days? Let's have a look. Here we go. Let's have a look. And here we go. So the sentence was, a purely peer-to-peer version of electronic cash would allow online payments to be sent directly from one party to another without going through A. And we've got here, a purely peer-to-peer version of electronic cash would allow online payments to be sent directly from one party to another without going through a financial institution. That's it. Now look. So Satoshi has plagiarized Craig Wright because Craig Wright wrote that in a paper on the 30th of October 2007. 2007, literally 1 year and a day. 1 year and a day before we released the Bitcoin white paper on the 31st of October because it was Halloween. Just incredible. And then also there's this. Check this out. So on the 10th of January 2009, Craig Wright posted on his Facebook profile that the beta of Bitcoin is live tomorrow. This is decentralized. We try it until it works. And this was the post. Look at that. Saturday, 10th of January 2009. Bitcoin. I mean, literally, look. 10th of January 2009. Oh my God. You know, so Bitcoin white paper released 31st of October 2008. The Genesis block created 3rd of January 2009. And I think block 1 was produced. Yeah, I think block 1 was actually produced either on the 9th or 10th of January 2009. So literally, this is Satoshi Nakamoto saying this. And he'd written here Bitcoin. I mean, who else knew about Bitcoin back then? Bitcoin, well, e-gold is down the toilet. Good idea, but again, centralized authority. The beta of Bitcoin is live tomorrow. This is decentralized. We try it until it works. And then it says here on the 10th of January 2009, Bitcoin was down for 8 hours and 34 minutes between block 27 and 28. Craig stated that his Bagnu network rebooted and only he was mining. He had to drive from Laszlo to Bagnu. He was mining from the ranch before Jan 10th. And so he would have actually been on, this is Australian Eastern Daylight Time. So block 27, that was actually 5:56. Australian Daylight Time. Block 28 wasn't produced until 2:30 in the morning the following day, which is kind of interesting. But the blockchain obviously reports everything in UTC time. But if we look at the amount of time it took, so if it was down for 8 hours and it takes 3 hours 35 minutes, that's a 7-hour drive there, and so you've got an hour of fixing it. So 3.5 hours there, spent an hour fixing it, 3.5 hours back. That's your 8 hours, of which he was the only one mining Bitcoin. And then it was on the 11th of January that Hal Finney downloads the Bitcoin software from Dr. Greg Wright and posts out a tweet saying running Bitcoin. There was nobody else in Bitcoin at that time. Absolutely no one. So here we've got Satoshi Nakamoto plagiarizing Craig Wright. We've got Craig Wright talking about a Bitcoin when literally nobody else was mining it, and literally nobody knew what it was. In fact, this might actually even be the first post about. This might be the first ever social media post about Bitcoin that we're looking at here. I hadn't actually thought of that. This is the first ever, surely. Well, yeah, first social media post, because prior to this, all we had was the release of the white paper. That's history right there. Oh my goodness me. And I just realised that. Oh my goodness me. So anyway, anybody who watches my show, we all know what's going on. So now that we've done that, let's have a quick look at the figures. Because I haven't done these for a while. What we got? I'll be going for 22 minutes. 61. I'll just whiz through this quickly. $61. Transactions 9.6. Or percent. Block size 35. Let's have a look at block size coming through. We know it's all about Terrano now. It's all been testnet relatively small blocks. In comparison, it's 265,000 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin than Coolcoin. 43.7% more profitable to mine on Coolcoin than Bitcoin. Shows you the competition for it and all that. Mining. Oh, yeah. I love looking at the mining because this is where the politics is. Let's have a look at this. Coolcoin, Bcrash, other miners with 64.5%. Fisher Price Cash, interesting. And Bitcoin, we'll have to have a look at that on what's on chain. There we go, looking good. Crypto Quant, now maybe I just haven't looked at this for a while, or they've changed the timescale. But I mean, look at this dump. Look at this dump right in the middle of the screen. Does that? How did I not kind of like notice that before? Have they changed the metric on this or something? I mean, look at that. Look at the dump. Look at the dump. Because that is the miner's exchange reserve. And the price in black there. I mean, look at that massive dump. So that was the 4th of November 2022. 4th of November 2022. It's massive. Good grief. I might actually have to go back on Bitcoin history and have a look, see what was going on around that time. Yes, indeed. Yeah, jeepers. All right. Let's have a look at the tether weather. So I've just seen this. This is over the month. So what the hell happened here? Look. So this was on the. Is it? I'll just look at the date. Where was that? On the 6th. I think that's on the 6th of January. And then it goes up. So it goes from 112 billion to 112 effectively 112.6 billion. So that's 600 million. 600 million was pumped in and pumped out. Right there, 600 million. Just right there. So when was that? 9 p.m. Yeah. Within an hour. 600 million in and then out. You know, no market manipulation to see there. Good grief. What an absolute joke that is. What's this? What's this all about? A sudden demand for... there, look. Yeah, so that would have been the demand for it. So they've bought a shed load of it, 600 million, and then maybe burnt it or got rid of it. I mean, look at that. Look at that spike. Oh yeah, 6th of January. Good grief. Well, only just noticed that, but anyway. Let's have a look at the shorts. Yeah, seen that before. Bitcoin versus Corecoin, just heading downwards a bit, obviously after the court case. Let's see if we can have a look at BSV and US dollar. Just trotting along over the last few days there nicely. Yeah, just price has gone down after the ruling of the court case. Let's have a look at Live Coin Watch. So market cap $2.6 trillion. $2.6 trillion. Oh, we've just had a price spike there, upsy downsies. Trade volume just 1.6 though. Just 1.6%. That is all. That's all it is. Just 1.6%. Nothing. Literally, just 1.6% of the market changes its mind. You know. And I mean, crikey, you only need less. That's probably less than a million. Yeah, there is definitely less than a million. Less than a million Bitcoin. Probably like 250,000 BTC. 250,000 BTC. That's nothing for a large miner to just change its mind. Oof. Is all I can say on that one. Jeepers. And where's Bitcoin? Where are we looking? Buried down at number 75. Yeah, price is trotting along there nicely. Again, I mean, bids and asks. I mean, one second there's 1 million and then it's gone up to like 4 million. I don't trust these figures at all, but we'll look at them anyway. Interesting. Looks like Terranode. Yeah, we just went through the notes the other day where they said that Terranode benchmark sets the stage for a blockchain's next evolution, achieving over 1 million transactions per second with 6 globally distributed nodes. Went through that the other day. Beautiful. These are the figures from that, just to show you that they've looks like they've stopped testing for a while anyway. Very good. And here we go. Let's have a look at the leaderboard. See what's going on here. Current week. Oh, new week has begun. Waiting for game results. Check back later to see where you rank. Love it. Love it. Some people doing really well there. Loving that. Right, there we go. That is a 28-minute show. Hope you enjoyed it. And as ever, if you enjoyed the shows or these updates, please ding your donations for your appreciation and send me a message, and we'll get a group going on Signal. So until then, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.